fire the living out of the Indiana Fever. So Indiana Fever, and it's been my belief that they will freaking fire everyone. And I do believe this. So if you're a Fever fan and you're hoping they'll keep Caitlin Clark, it's my belief that when push comes to shove, there's no way they can let her get away. They will fire everybody and start over. That's my belief. I cannot imagine the level of fumbling the bag that would have to be done.
What happens when you discover the most valuable asset in your organization, but then systematically try to diminish it? The Indiana Fever is about to find out the hard way. A recent poll dropped that should have every executive in that front office scrambling for damage control. When asked if they'd still support the Fever if Caitlin Clark left, an overwhelming majority of fans responded with brutal honesty. Nope, my bags are packed. This isn't casual fandom we're talking about.
What has Caitlin Clark meant to the WNBA?
Everything. She's changed the dynamic and history forever for women.
I see a lot of young girls here today, and I see how inspired they are, and she's even gotten me back into basketball.
I think she has brought attention. She did it for us. We had never watched, and we have become big fans.
I don't think her contributions have been extreme as what people think they are. I think the league in itself has been getting better, and that's really what we should be focusing on.
I think she's brought a lot of attention to the WNBA, and it's needed.
I think it's great. I actually grew up watching the WNBA, so it's really exciting to see a resurgence.
She meant everything. I never watched it before.
These are die-hard converts who discovered women's basketball through one Iowa kid with unlimited range, and the kind of court vision that makes highlight reels look effortless. They didn't fall in love with Indiana basketball. Most couldn't even locate the state on a map 6 months ago. They fell in love with Clark. And now the entire WNBA ecosystem hangs in the balance. But first, if you're enjoying this deep dive into the chaos surrounding women's basketball's biggest star, smash that like button and subscribe for more sports drama that'll keep you glued to your screen.
Example, and there's enough votes here. This is a good test to see how bad this would be. Swag put this out, and it's starting to make the rounds. I voted. Okay, Fever fans, answer this. If Caitlin leaves Fever, would you still support the Fever? We got 1,145 votes here. Nope, my bags are packed is far and away leading.
Here's where things get wild. Gatorade, Nike, and every major brand with a marketing budget are throwing money at Caitlin Clark like she's printing her own currency. And why wouldn't they? She's turned the WNBA from a niche afternoon programming filler into must-see television. Attendance is up 40%, merchandise sales have exploded by 500%, and suddenly, arenas that looked like library study sessions are packed tighter than a Taylor Swift concert. But here's the kicker. None of that loyalty belongs to Indiana. These fans aren't buying Fever jerseys because they love the franchise. They're buying Clark jerseys that happen to say Indiana on them right now. It's portable allegiance at its finest. One fan put it perfectly. If she leaves the Fever, I'm gone too. This isn't emotional attachment to a city or team colors. This is migration patterns following their queen bee. And Clark is the ultimate monarch butterfly, leading the swarm wherever she lands next. The coaching situation reads like a workplace drama nobody asked for. Stephanie White gets hired, and instead of embracing the golden goose that saved the franchise, she seems determined to clip its wings. Game after game, we're watching Clark get parked in corners, while teammates with shooting percentages lower than lottery odds get the green light to brick shots like they're constructing a new arena. Meanwhile, Clark drops 23 points and 15 assists while dodging elbows and questionable referee calls, only to face stone-cold silence in post-game interviews. No praise, no acknowledgement, just tight-lipped speeches about letting the game come naturally. It's basketball coaching through a passive-aggressive filter, and fans are losing their minds watching their superstar get the stepchild treatment. The worst part? It feels intentional, like there's some twisted logic of keep the rookie humble while the team loses games in spectacular fashion. You can't hype someone as the face of your franchise and then treat them like a glorified water boy during crunch time. Let's talk numbers because they don't lie. Clark isn't just changing games. She's rewriting the entire economic model of women's professional sports. WNBA players historically made about 9% of league revenues, while NBA players take home 50%. Those days are numbered, with viewership records being shattered weekly and arenas that couldn't give away tickets now selling out in minutes. The upcoming salary negotiations are going to be nuclear. Clark herself has already racked up over $660,000 in endorsement deals, and that's just the beginning. Corporate America has finally figured out what smart fans knew months ago. This girl is box office gold. Every game she plays generates more buzz than entire seasons used to produce. The league was flying budget airlines, charging for water and peanuts. Now they're booking private jets, and everyone wants to pretend like it happened naturally. But here's the reality check. Remove Clark from the equation, and those numbers crater faster than crypto in a bear market. The Olympic team snub exposed everything wrong with WNBA politics in one devastating decision. Picture this. Clark drops 30 points and 7 threes in a dominant performance, and that same night, news breaks that she's not making the Olympic roster. The reasoning? She needs to wait her turn, while Diana Taurasi gets a farewell tour gift. Since when do we hand out Olympic spots as retirement presents? It was a slap in the face to every fan who'd been converted by Clark's magic, and a clear signal that the old guard wasn't ready to pass the torch. The message was crystal clear. We'll take your ratings, your sold-out arenas, and your merchandise money, but don't expect us to actually respect what you've accomplished. Clark handled it with class, saying she'd make the team next time, but fans saw through the politics immediately. This wasn't about basketball merit. This was about protecting egos and maintaining a hierarchy that Clark had already blown past on pure talent alone. So what happens if Clark actually leaves Indiana? Simple. The WNBA experiences its largest fan exodus since streaming services were invented. Those packed arenas turn into cricket concerts overnight. Those record-breaking viewership numbers get replaced by Ninja Warrior reruns, pulling higher ratings. This isn't speculation anymore. Fans are already scouting other cities, learning zip codes, and planning watch parties in states Clark doesn't even play in yet. They've got rental apps open in Phoenix and Las Vegas bookmarked. Some are studying the draft lottery system like it's a college entrance exam. Because for them, Clark isn't just a player, she's the entire product. The whole ecosystem revolves around her gravitational pull. Indiana management had one job: don't screw this up. Instead, they're performing a masterclass in how to fumble the greatest gift in franchise history. Remove Clark from Indiana, and that team becomes just another name in a box score. Put her anywhere else, and that city instantly becomes the epicenter of women's basketball fandom. The choice facing Indiana Fever management isn't complicated. They can continue this slow-motion sabotage of their superstar and watch as the fan base they never earned disappears overnight. Or they can wake up and build around the phenomenon they stumbled into. Because Caitlin Clark isn't waiting for permission to be great anymore. She is greatness, wrapped in an Iowa jersey with unlimited range and the kind of vision that turns casual observers into lifelong fanatics. The fans have spoken with their wallets, their voices, and now their ultimatums. The question isn't whether Clark will succeed wherever she goes, that's guaranteed. The question is whether Indiana wants to be part of that success story, or become a cautionary tale about what happens when you take magic for granted. Tick-tock fever management. The clock is running, and your fans are already looking at the exits.